Hi, everybody. So I'm going to take you through a brief tour of how I did the memes in the classroom, infographic, and the whole activity. So the first thing is this is our visual literacy unit, and I decided, well, kids in middle school particularly are really into memes. I catch them watching, looking at memes, creating memes instead of paying attention in class. We used to be gaming, now it's memes. I don't know. So anyway, I thought, well, let's capitalize on this. And so what I did was I first started going off finding memes that were teacher worthy, and I started inserting them in here. And so that way, you could see that memes aren't just for kids. These are all memes that were created not by me, but by other people. And here's the image sources. If you click right here, it'll actually take you to a document I created just for those image sources. Anyway, so and then I decided, well, I'm gonna create my own meme. So I went to a program called Imgur, and I created this meme here. And I got a little annoyed because I don't. I thought, oh yeah, this is everybody's going to love this. This has to do with Google Docs and how the kids can copy their homework off of somebody else in just 1 minute, and it's like new age, cheating. And of course, I'm the teacher, I'm Dwight Schrute here, I'm annoyed, and everybody will get it. But the problem is that people didn't really get it, and I think they had to have that explanation in order to get it. And I realized that because I showed it to my students and they loved it after I explained it. So sometimes memes don't always work. So the idea here is to get your kids to use memes in a productive, content-driven way. So here's what memes are. They're these visual images that have, they're culturally the new trend or norm. They're spread throughout the internet. I put a cat here because cats are used in memes all the time, like funny cats. Then what I did down here was put the steps on how to create a meme in your class. So I actually did this with my students too. So you select a topic, any topic you want them to focus their meme around. Then you choose a generator. And actually I found for middle school, and you'll notice in the Padlet and down here, I also say that the Google Drawing tool is actually recommended to create memes for this age group, because some of those meme generators will expose the kids to vulgar and inappropriate content. Or if they share it, will open up their profile information to other people to view. So to protect them at this age anyway, I would use Google Drawings. And they create their image in Google Drawing, they'll write a caption and then share it and see how effective it is. What I did here was I actually made a Padlet of all kinds of resources and material that you could use. So you click on that link to go there. Here it is. I'll show you my Padlet that I curated. Here's a rubric that I created for memes, and I'll look at that with you in just a minute. Here's free images if you're going to use, Creative Commons, and that brings up a whole other topic, like what images are okay to use and not okay to use. And then there's meme production tools in here. There's some ideas on how to use memes and why in the classroom. And then in bold text, I did identify those that are safest for middle school. Alice Keeler put together some great material with a template for the kids. And then Teresa Tuttle here has like a YouTube tutorial on how to use Google Draw tools to make your memes. So those are both resources I actually gave to the students straight out, and they were successful with it. So this is just a resource for you. And of course, where memes actually come from altogether is in this great NJEA article, some of the earliest memes and where the whole trend came from. Anyway, so that's the Padlet for you to use. And then here's my meme sample rubric. And I left this to be available to anybody, and feel free to take it and use it or make a copy and change it and do whatever you want. But I figured 3 points for yes, 2 points for partial, 1 point for no. And I'm looking specifically in the student memes for content, Was it on the topic that I gave them? I actually, for this assignment, I gave them the topic of oil, and they had to create memes, and I'll show you a couple results of that in a minute. The message, whether their message makes sense, and that's where I kind of failed, I guess. So I would have had a partial caption. Does it have a caption to explain what the meme is? Because my meme kind of failed, so maybe it would have worked better if I provided a caption for people. The image, is it appropriate, relevant? You could also include that Creative Commons publishing here, an image if you wanted to, and then access, because a lot of times students post the link and it's not the right link, and then they have to go back and fix and change. But, that's just suggestions. You do whatever you want. And then I'm going to go back. I'm sorry, I'm flipping around. I'm going to go back here. Just make sure that you and the students, cite your sources. And that's it for my infographic. I'm going to take you to a couple samples over here of what students came up with. This was my original sample for the students about hydration, and this plastic being a product of oil. And down here it actually says, thanks, oil. Hydration is life. Thanks, oil. And the irony of that. One of my students came up with this one. I mean, these are all students' samples. I'm not going to open them only because some of them put their full names in there, and I don't want to expose them to that. But you can get the idea where it's just kind of, it's funny, and they enjoyed it, and they had a good time. And this was our first go about with memes, but they were all excited when I told them, oh, let's do memes. And they were like, oh my gosh, we love memes. So it's a nice way to take a dry topic like oil, forgive the pun, and make it something fun. So that's about it. The only thing is I had a little bit of issues here with the infographic tool. Easily, I found out a couple things. One is if you click on objects, you actually have more objects than it appears. I didn't realize that. You actually have to hover over this, and then you can bring up some more material. So I found that out. And another thing I found out was the other difficulty I had was getting this to stretch out or extend. So it was more like an infographic. And I actually chatted with somebody on the site, and they told me to select what I wanted, portrait, landscape. And then you have to actually take this and drag it in. Like you pick it up and drag it in, and then it'll extend the page for you. And once you do that, you actually have the option of hovering over and dragging it further down and further back up, and vice versa. You could do the same with the width too. So that's a little bit of troubleshooting for you also with Easily. Anyway, hope you like it, and enjoy memeing if you decide to do it.